Yeah. Oh, yeah. We elevate. See the crown on my mind. Black
Now,
Ross
what you've
Network.
done thus far.
All right. Well, my name is Betty Olivia Elise Thomas, and I am originally from New York City, and I just recently moved here from Alabama. So, long story with that. But I actually received a full scholarship to the University of Mississippi, and for the women's track. So, yes, for women's track and field. And then when I graduated, I moved to Alabama to train for the 2012 Olympics. And I had a good coach. I also had a good coach in Ole Miss as well. And
Oh, so you was at both.
yes,
So from New York to Ole Miss.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
Awesome
So,
journey.
yeah, so once I moved from Mississippi, I moved to Alabama to train for the 2012 Olympics. And then when that was over, I became a teacher and a coach.
Let's go back. Tell me a little bit about training for the Olympics. Well, first of all, how did you get into shot putting? Like, how did you get into it?
So I started when I was in the 10th grade,
Okay.
and I used to play basketball, but
What position did you play?
well,
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't good. I
Got it.
believe if I had someone to work with me,
Sure.
I would have been great.
I got it.
But
got it.
I was just a strong female,
Mm.
just naturally
Naturally
strong.
strong.
And one day I had a teammate. Her name was Alexa Manning.
Okay.
And she kept saying, Betty, you need to come out and come throw. And I kept saying, yeah. I was just your typical teenager.
I get it.
And one day I saw her in the hallway. She kept saying, Betty. So I said, okay, fine, I'll come out.
Yeah.
So I went out, and my sophomore year of outdoor season, I was in second place in New York State.
Awesome.
The first time I came out.
Wow.
And then when I graduated, my last year, my senior year, I finally won state.
Awesome.
Yes.
And you found yourself heading to the Olympics.
Well, not in. I trained for it.
Trained for it. What was
Yes.
training like for that, though?
Ooh, it was tough.
It's tough,
but it actually helped me to see life on a whole different perspective.
Understood.
It teaches you a lot about perseverance, discipline, being patient, which is something that we all need to learn.
Yeah, I agree.
And it helps me to see how God works with us. So I looked at God as my coach. He's teaching us everything that we need to know in training. And then when competition starts,
I got you.
You know,
I got you.
So
did you so you ended up throwing in Mississippi, right?
University of Mississippi.
Okay,
yes.
then. And so from there, that's where the Olympics came up?
So
or was it
towards the end of my senior year?
Okay, got it.
I don't know. It was just on my heart to go for it.
Sure.
And it was really about connections. My coach, her name was Erin Wibbles. She happened to know a gold medalist, and she actually lived in Alabama. Her husband was actually a coach. He's still a coach. Matter of fact, his name was Regis Thurman.
Understood.
And he is overseas coaching professional athletes still.
Wow.
So I was able to connect with them, and he came down to coach me and another athlete, and that's how it all got started from there.
Wow. What would you say the most difficult thing about shot putting is, if you had to say?
The mind.
It's more mental.
It's more mental, yeah.
So it's not that physical. Is it physical? A little bit of balance of both, but you're saying here it's more mental. Tell me why you say that.
Because if you, and I believe it's just with anything. If you tell yourself that, oh, I'm a mess up, or anything negative, you can just mess up the whole entire technique just like that.
Understood. Yeah, I was looking at a couple of those techniques that they use, and it's almost like a sweet. It's almost like a ballerina dancing, almost when you first look at it. And I felt like if you played like some classical music to that and slowed it down, you can kind of see the grace within that. Even with the men throwing it, there's a certain level of balance that comes along with that. How do you get that balance? How do you get that balance together? Like, how does that work?
Well, I remember when I was training, once I graduated from Ole Miss, when I was training with Coach Thurman, he had me on a balance beam.
Really?
Yes, and I remember standing on one leg, and he would throw the medicine ball, and I'm just balancing on one leg, and
Wow.
just little things. Some of the training that I experienced, I guess, being that I didn't know what to expect,
Sure.
so I basically I had to trust my coach for one.
Hmm.
In my mind, I was just like, well, how is this working? But not
Hmm.
realizing he was, well, just in general, you're attacking the smaller muscles,
Understood. Okay.
attacking the ones that we don't really pay attention to.
Sure. Sure.
So most times we'll bench press, squat, but the coaches also have other workouts where they attack like the little shoulder muscles, the ankles,
Right.
and
Right.
so.
This is such an interesting sport. Even as before we actually get into
Mhm.
what you actually are here for and what you do, I just thought it was kind of interesting to kind of take the folks on a journey. Because when I look at shot putting, I always wondered, and maybe in my ignorance, I just don't know. But what's the purpose of the white powder that you put on your neck, and when you have the ball, the
Mhm.
metal ball here, what's the purpose of that?
Sweat.
I'm thinking it's like something real. I thought it was something technical.
Yes, no, it's
Okay.
sweat, and then if you're throwing indoor,
Hmm.
it actually helps the official to see where the ball actually lands. So that way they
Ah,
just won't eyeball it and be like, okay, well
understood. So it leaves a mark
hmm
once it hits the grass, pretty much
yes,
right there by the line.
yeah,
Interesting. Thank you for letting me know that. So here we are now. You did shot putting, and now you graduate from college.
hmm
You get into your career, but then you find yourself crafting.
yeah.
So talk a little bit about. Well, first of all, what was your degree program?
Well, I have a bachelor's in social work,
Oh,
so I've
got it.
always had a heart for people.
Okay,
I've always liked helping people,
understood.
and my aunt, her name was Betty Denise Baxter Green,
Okay,
and she was a social worker. She always had a good heart to help people.
sure, sure.
And she actually motivated me without her even knowing,
Hmm.
but she actually motivated me to do the same.
Understood,
So
understood.
I just remember one day I was actually in her office, and she actually had an office in her house,
Hmm.
and she would actually have the client. She had her own thing
Wow,
going,
wow.
and she had all these stuffed animals, and
Hmm.
um, she actually had a business. Yeah, it was a business for children,
Okay,
and so she would counsel them and
yeah,
help families.
sure.
But when I saw that, I said, well, I know I like to help people, and
Hmm.
that actually inspired me to want to do the same.
Good for you. Yeah,
So
yeah, that's awesome. So from social work to crafting,
mhm.
how did you find yourself getting into crafting?
I have no idea. I'm being honest with you.
No,
It
it's
just
okay.
runs in the family. It's just a
Okay.
gift.
Hmm.
I'm still experimenting. I'm still
Sure.
learning. It runs in the family.
Yeah.
I also have my oldest brother. His name is Christopher Williams.
Okay.
He draws for Marvel, DC, Milestone, and he was doing it since I was a baby, probably even before then. I
Sure.
know he went to school for art,
Hmm.
and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe my dad used to do fun cartoon characters
Okay.
with him when he
Okay.
was young too,
Cool.
if I'm not mistaken.
I got you. Hmm.
But I don't know. I just one day I I joined my church, and I
Hmm.
got really involved in my church, and then I
Sure.
realized I liked decorating. I
Mm.
liked putting things together,
Mm.
painting,
I got you.
and it just seemed like through my church, all of this
I
just
got you. It
started to
just
come
kind of
out.
landed in your lap.
Yeah.
So what's your creative process like? What is it like for you? Do you meditate first,
Mhm.
or do, like, say for instance, you driving around the city or whatever? Do you just get inspiration automatically, or could it be a conversation that kind of sparks or triggers the inspiration for you to create something? How does that
Yes.
process work for you?
Well, really, it goes back to how God wants us to use our gifts to bless other people.
Understood.
So when I first started out,
Mm.
I would just make projects and put scriptures on the project. So
Okay.
if someone is going through something,
Mm-hmm.
they could see that art, they could see the word
Mm-hmm.
while they're looking at the craft. They're still getting that encouragement in. And it's crazy because when I first started doing that, I had all of a sudden, God just started blessing.
Sure.
There were
Mm-hmm.
people who would have just donated stuff to me.
Yeah.
I didn't have to come out of my pocket for anything.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Definitely a blessing.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
tell you that I had someone build.
Teachers and parents, are you ready to empower your students to become stronger writers? Check out Rethinking Writing One Word at a Time by Sheila Beverly, a workbook that's been praised by educators for its innovative approach to teaching grammar and writing. Dr. Daryl Morris calls it a motivational hook that helps students get their ideas down on paper, and other teachers rave about its hands-on tools like the Grammar Bubble Manipulative Toy to make learning fun. Perfect for classrooms or home learning? Get your copy now on Amazon and watch your students' writing skills shine.
When I tell you that I had someone build a woodworking table for me,
Wow.
and I was just like, well, I was not expecting this. And then I had
Sure.
a few people even donate to me, and I wasn't even in business yet. And they're like, hey, you need to, here, I'm wanting to sow a seed
Sure.
in your business.
That's good stuff.
And I was shocked.
Right.
But it really started from there. And then all of a sudden I started doing more research on, what's out there, what's popular,
Sure.
what can I do to make my art become
stand out.
better and stand out. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at this piece here as we look at this cornhole right here. I've had the pleasure of playing on it. So this is pretty awesome. Shout out to the Aggies, North Carolina A&T, Aggie Pride, all day and day. So this right here is just absolutely beautiful. When my brother first showed me this, the first thing I said, I was like, man, who did this for you? This is amazing. I was looking at how smooth it is, the shellac. You really took your time, and it's smooth. Like, it's smooth. You guys can't see this. I'm touching it like it's some nice wood floors. I'm telling you, she did a thing on this right here. You can see the details and everything. What was this like when you first started, your approach to this? What was your approach creatively when you first started this? What was that approach like for this right here?
In my mind, I said, well, let's get it done.
Yeah.
So this was actually my first cornhole I've ever made.
Get out of here.
Yes, I've never made.
Are you serious?
Yes, I've never made a cornhole.
So,
painting it was good as well. I didn't have any issues. I just had, the only thing I had to really focus on was detail. So that way I try to make it as perfect as the logo, but when you do freehand and stuff, it's not going to always
absolutely amazing. This is great work. You can see the details in this. It's wow, it's a work of art, actually. It really is. Great job on that too, by the way. Yeah, let's talk about the sneakers, because I was blown away when I was reading the last time you and your mother-in-law was in here.
Yes.
I was reading and then once you told me, I went in a little bit more detail, so I had a chance to read a little bit and I was like, she does sneakers. I went back there and told Al, I was like, yo, she do sneakers. Yeah. What? So, which is cool, So how did that happen? Whenever when I find people that have like little arts and crafts things that they love to do, I'm always amazed at the detail, like just the detail you got. First of all, you got to have a steady hand.
Yes.
So is it nerve-wracking for you whenever you're trying to like freehand and really take your time, or is it relaxing for you?
Depends on the picture.
Okay.
It depends.
That's honest.
It depends. So I know who really got me into painting the sneakers is my husband. So one day
he's a good man. Yeah. He's a good man.
One day he was doing some research. He's like, hey, Betty, you got to start painting some shoes. And I said, okay. So, I got into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I did, my very first pair was Alabama, University of Alabama.
Ooh,
and I actually painted those for my brother-in-law, Ryan.
Okay.
And then it went from that to sketching out Bugs Bunny on a pair of shoes. And I was trying so hard to make it perfect.
Sure.
But then I realized the more I kept practicing, the better I got with my art. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's amazing, man. You mess around, man. You be doing sneakers for A&T, for Winston State.
Yeah.
You're doing it for everybody.
Yes.
And that's the goal, So, you guys make sure you reach out. I'll make sure we get that information out to the folks so they can get some of what are some of the other things that you create and make?
All right. So really, a project like this would be for just someone you know. But technically, with my business, I do parties. I
Oh,
make centerpieces.
okay,
I do
understood,
backdrops.
understood.
I do jewelry. I do apparel.
Okay.
Just about everything you can think
Nah,
of.
nah,
That's
nah. I got it. You're
what I
creative.
do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's tough. So really, this was just, yeah, let me see if I can do it.
Mhm.
But look at it.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
Mhm.
So you really just was like, all right, yeah, I think I can do it.
Mhm.
And you did it.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
Yes. It's just one of those things where I see it in my mind. I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can.
And so you do, when you buy your wood, you actually go like the Home Depot or
Okay.
Lowe's or
Yes. Yes.
got it.
Yes.
And you do your own measurements, your own research and
Yes. It's an ongoing process.
okay, so would you say that's a little tedious too? Is that tough too?
Yes,
You know that?
yes, it can be at times, especially if your measurements is off and you can't really. But this right here was actually already made, but all I did was resand it over. I can't
Oh,
build it,
okay.
but I did resand it and I stained it, painted it, and but I can actually build that.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Enough said. As far as I'm concerned, you did it.
Yes.
You know, it's a beautiful piece of work.
Mhm.
Beautiful piece of work. And you know, this is a fun game that everybody can play.
Mhm.
Who doesn't like cornholes? I do. I absolutely love it. It's a fun game to play. So how do you balance maintaining your signature artistic style while fulfilling customer specific vision,
Mhm.
especially when the two might Black Coffee and Cuisine, the warmest coffee shop in America. When the two might conflict.
Okay. Well, whatever the customer wants is what they get. So if they have a certain design in mind, it's not about what I like, it's what they
about
want.
what they want.
Yes.
I love it. I love
So, but now if there's something that may clash, like a color, and you can't really see a certain word, I may let the customer know. But whatever they want is what they get from me.
Yeah, I heard you say you do mostly like. Can you go into detail a little bit more? So you do stuff like for weddings.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so like centerpieces for weddings, events. If somebody wants a big centerpiece done,
Yes.
what is that like? What is that creative process like for you when you're creating those centerpieces?
Well, most of the time I would have a customer that would say, "Hey, I trust you. Just make something." Or I would sit down and this is just for any project.
Sure.
We would just go through different ideas online and
Yeah.
they'll just come up with their own thing and maybe take bits and pieces here and there and create a piece.
Right.
And that's where I come in and just start putting it together for them.
Wow. just to think that you didn't specifically had this was a family thing then. The inspiration came from family basically. Would you say that? Did you have any other artists that you look to? Any other artists that you like?
I
Can't name them right off the top of your head?
And from my family or just in general?
In general.
Like, well, I know when someone see this video, they're gonna laugh, but I've always been a Disney person. I was always told you a big kid, but I've always loved Disney.
Got it. Got it.
But I grew up around anime. My brothers watched anime a lot.
Understood. Understood.
And once again, my older brother, he was into Marvel and DC. So I was surrounded by all of that, even video games. My other brothers played all different types of games. And I also have another brother. His name is Jeremy. He's an artist as well.
So it's just in your family.
Yes.
That's the inspiration. So it's just a God-given talent.
Yes.
It's a gift that God gave you. It's a beautiful thing. So what would you say to someone that would like to get into this business? What would you say to them to encourage them to keep going and not to quit? If you could say anything.
Gift. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Like use your gift to be a blessing to that person. That's the only thing I can think of. And don't get discouraged. Don't allow the enemy to try to make you feel like, well, you're not good enough.
Sure.
Your project may not be spectacular or it as long as you're using your gift to bless others, God will manifest it and make it better.
I want to go deeper. I heard you say that a couple of times about giving. Where did that come from? Your heart to give like that. What would you just say?
I don't know. I've always had a giving heart.
No,
I've
not
always
really.
been that way.
Yeah, especially in the world that we live
Yeah.
in today. You know, the world is so crazy right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you probably hear. With a lot of folks say,
Mhm.
I'm going to give. I'm going to give to this person. I'm a giver also. So I get it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to know. I always wanted to know from other people.
Mhm.
What inspires you to give.
Mhm.
Why give?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and just thinking back when I was in high school,
Mm.
I had a teacher. Well, there's about maybe two teachers and my coach. They sacrificed their time for me,
Mm.
and they blessed me in ways you know, where I needed. And, as a child, you don't really think about
Hmm.
those things until
Sure.
when you get older. You don't
Yeah.
realize that God placed certain people in your life in certain seasons to help
That's
you
right.
get to where you
That's
are
right.
now.
That's right.
And so I had this one teacher, and her name was Miss Lazaro. She was my best friend.
Mm.
And when I tell you that she inspired me to be a blessing to other people, I mean,
Hmm.
it's crazy. I would come home from college. When I tell you that she was with me from high school all the way up until I got married, all through,
Wow.
yes, like, we
Wow.
communicated,
That's cool.
and she believed in me.
Hmm.
So, and not to get too deep,
Nah,
but
you're
when I
fine.
was in
Mhm.
high school, when I was in school, I was in something called resource, special education.
Hmm.
But I just needed the extra help because
Sure.
my literacy skills wasn't that
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And so she, out of all the teachers, besides one more, um, she believed in me,
Yeah.
and she poured. There were times when she would buy me things, and I'm just,
Mm.
buy me things that I needed to help me get to where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And she would encourage me. And the crazy thing is, whenever I was going through something, it's almost like she knew, and she
Sure.
would just call me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whenever she would bless me, I would tell her, I don't know how I'm going to, well, how can I bless you back? She said, just pass it on.
Mm.
And I believe that's where it really got started.
Understood.
So, yeah.
Thank you for being vulnerable enough to tell us that too.
Mhm.
That's really what this show is about. My show is
Mhm.
all about helping people become better
Yes.
because your story can be an inspiration to somebody else to say, hey, even though this might have happened
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
my life, look
Right.
at me now.
Yes.
So, I always look at it. God gives us what is it? Beauty for ashes.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing for you to share. I knew I would get deep down to the core. I knew I'd get to it. We kept talking. I knew we'd get to it. So listen, this has absolutely been just a great conversation. I think you are a diamond that the world needs to know about, needs to hear about. And the fact that you were able to come on and talk about this, uh, you know, took a great deal of guts
Mhm.
and boldness to step out there in faith.
Mhm.
And here we are now. This your artwork here,
Mhm.
and hopefully we get a chance to see some of those sneakers. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Yes.
hopefully we can get the folks so they can see some of the sneakers too
Mhm.
as well. This is great. I usually like for my guests to say something positive.
Mhm.
You already have, but if you could just say something to my listeners, to the viewers, if you could say something positive to encourage them in closing
Mhm.
and tell the folks how they can reach you, how they can
Mhm.
follow you on your pages and everything. The
Okay.
floor is yours and we'll close out.
Okay. Well, I just want to come out and say, don't allow the enemy to stop you from being who God designed you to be. There will be times when he will try to throw distractions your way, but just know that as long as you have God on your side, he will make ways out of no ways for you. He will even expand your gifts in ways you can't even imagine. So I've always told my athletes, whenever they had a hard time in competition and they couldn't figure out why they get their um, couldn't get their technique or whatever it is, they couldn't get their stuff in order, I would tell them, look, a champion is not someone who just wins all the medals, but a champion is someone who can persevere through all the hard trials and not give up. So that doesn't mean that it's going to be roses all the
Sure,
time,
sure.
but as long as you take it one day at a time and look past your emotions and push through every other obstacle. You're going to be just fine. And just keep God first.
There it is. Now tell the folks how they can follow you and get in
Okay.
contact with you if
Yeah,
they
so
want to get some of your products.
I'm on Facebook, and it's under Elise's Designs and Creations. I also have a personal Facebook. It's under Elise Thomas. And I have an Instagram, and it's under Elise Thomas as well. So,
All right. Thank you so much, Elise. Listen, this is the Black Ross Network. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Black Ross Network. It's the Ross Cloud Podcast. Make it a great day. Peace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We elevate. See the crown on my mind. Black Ross Network.